Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us at our TCSL Sunday meditation. Today's meditation will be a reading by Mark Nepo, followed by meditation to music. So I invite you now to close your outer eyes and just begin to arrive in the place where you are in this moment now. Letting go of every moment that brought you here. Breathing deeply in and release. Relaxing your jaw, your shoulders, allowing the seat below you to support you completely. Breathing deeply, the abundance of all that is as we breathe in, and exhaling all that isn't that, all that we don't need, just exhale that out. The reading by Mark Nepo is titled, "It is Enough." If you can't see what you're looking for, see what's there. One of the most difficult things for us to accept is that beneath all our dreams and disappointments, we live and breathe in abundance. It's hard, when in pain, to believe that all we ever need is before us, around us, within us, and yet it's true. Like leafless trees waiting for morning, something as great and as constant as the earth holds us up and turns us ever so slowly toward the light. Our task is only to be rooted and patient. Never was this more painfully true for me than during the aftermath of my first chemo treatment. I was in a Holiday Inn at 5 in the morning after 24 hours of being violently ill. I was slumped on the floor, holding the space of a rib that had been removed 3 weeks earlier. And my wife, in anger, panic, and desperation, called out, "Where is God?" And from some unknown place in me, through my pale slouch form, I uttered, "Here. God is right here." The presence of God has never eliminated pain, only made it more bearable. Now, when things don't go the way I want, I try to kiss what waits beneath all I want. Now, when the car breaks down, though I may get angry, I try to hear the weeds in the ditch as they point me to the sky. Now, when the vase drops from my hand and shatters, I may whine, but I try to see beneath my reflection in the pool of water from the flowers. Now, when I hurt, I try to feel my way through the tangle of my very normal reactions into the quiet, underlying all experience. Mysterious as it is, no matter our pain or excitement, our drama or circumstance, all that we could hope for is here. We lack nothing. The humble challenge of being human is not in agreeing or disputing this truth. That is as fruitless as arguing against gravity. Our humble way, if we can open to it, is to root ourselves beneath the thousand dreams and excuses that keep us from the ground we walk. Time and again, we are asked to outlast what we want and hope for in order to see what's there. It is enough. With eyes closed, meditate on the idea of knowing that though you may not see anything, you are growing, and that something larger than you is carrying you toward the light. as we begin to bring our consciousness back into the room, back into the place that we sit, maybe as we go into this week, we hold the consciousness, the place that we were able to touch this morning, of enoughness, and not through the eyes of others, but for our own self, to recognize and remember the enoughness of all the Spirit, the abundance of that, the love of God that rests deep within us, with us always. We can lean into that and know that enough is enough. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We hope you'll join us for our service at 10:15. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Dusty Rippelmeyer, and I have the privilege and the honor of being this community's spiritual director. We're part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living, and we embrace new thought and ancient wisdom teachings, and through them, we believe in a practical spirituality that we can use to create experiences and lives that we absolutely love to live. We're a powerful spiritual community, lovingly committed to a world of compassion, acceptance, peace, and joy. We gather together here at 4 Points by Sheridan in Morrisville, or from the comfort of your own home, to express love, practice radical acceptance and inclusion, and to connect with one another. What we are really about is providing a spiritual community where we can explore our own spiritual path and connect to the divinity and the wisdom within us. For those of you that have been attending our services and our classes and our social events, we welcome you. And we also welcome those of you who are with us for the very first time today. We're grateful that all of you have included us in your morning, whether or not you're here live or whether you've invited us into your homes. We are very grateful. Thank you so very much. We have a couple of announcements this morning, and the first is that today, October 2nd, is of course the first Sunday of the month, and our flower dedication is always dedicated to all those who are celebrating their birthdays this month. Who has a birthday in October? Oh, a few people. Yeah, all right. So while we would love to be able to speak your name into the room, we don't want to leave one single person off that list. So we're simply dedicating today's flowers to everybody with a birthday in October. See if this sounds like you. October-born babies are born under the signs of both Libra and Scorpio. Lovely little Libras are known for their excellent taste, their judiciousness, and their charismatic personalities. As signs of the scales, balance and fairness are deeply ingrained in their values. Scorpios also have many lovable traits. They feel deeply, they're super loyal, and they stand up for what they believe in. October-born people love peace, and they wish to make their surroundings quite calm and pleasant. And it's rare to see them losing their voices or getting angry, even in the hardest of times. There was a groan over here from an October-born person. People who belong to the October month are quite romantic and charming. Whether it's a boy or a girl, they love their partner for their inner soul and make them happy and comfortable all of the time. In fact, they naturally treat everyone in a very kind manner. October-born babies are bold, hard workers, and they stay focused on their goals. No matter how difficult and how hard the job is, they're ready to go to any extreme to finish the task in the best manner. Naturally, they are born with problem-solving capabilities, which help them to succeed and stay out of the crowd. Babies born during the fall are often stronger and more athletic than summer-born babies. The athletic edge is due to their being older and bigger than the other kids in their class, as well as getting started in sports earlier. Not only stronger, bigger, and taller, they have great cardiovascular health, and studies show great mental health in general. They are also more likely to live to their 100th birthday. October-born people are quite unique in that they wish to live in the present moment without worrying about things too much. They don't stress too much about the future, and they remain very happy and enthusiastic about the present life that they are living right now. So we see you. We know who you really are. We're grateful for you, and we celebrate the day that you arrived on the planet. And we love you. Happy birthday, everybody. Born in October. So we will be celebrating them and our community for our monthly lunch bunch, and today we will be going to Neomond. It's not very far from here. The address is 10235 Chapel Hill Boulevard in Morrisville, North Carolina, 27560. So please join us after the service as we celebrate all of those born in October. I would like to thank our licensed spiritual practitioner, Michelle Love, for her very lovely meditation, which expanded the container in which our service will unfold within. And speaking of the lovely Michelle Love, please welcome her back to the pulpit.
Thank you, Dusty. Good morning, everyone, here and at home. Our theme for the month of October, our theme for the year 2022 is Living Everyday Wonder. Our theme for the month of October is finance. And Reverend Dusty's talk title today is Swimming in the Infinite Ocean. I'm going to read this community's purpose statement. This is our reason for being here. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God, the love intelligence that governs the universe. We are committed to not merely a theoretical understanding of our oneness and unity with God, but to consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. Through celebration, service, study, and fellowship, we are committed to the transformation of our personal lives into being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. With the energy of unconditional love, simply, we are here for God. And so it is. So now I invite you to close your outer eyes as we spend a few moments centering ourselves. Turn within, open your heart and mind, and allow the healing sounds of the crystal bowls to simply wash over you.
Now I invite you to bring yourselves back into your bodies, back into the room. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living honors the diversity and threads of truth that run through all spiritual paths, as represented by this ceremony. Please welcome the volunteers, Kathy and Sandy, who will be assisting us this morning. Thank you, ladies. Christianity is the path of Christ consciousness, love, and forgiveness. Buddhism is the path of compassion and understanding. Judaism is the ethical path of living by sacred law. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God, the highest calling. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Taoism is the natural way, the path of ultimate reality. Native American practice and shamanic traditions are the paths of primal spirituality. Shintoism is the path of tribal ancestry. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Science of mind and spirit is the path of the divine principle of love and law. And the heart represents the one heart, the one love that resides at the center of all people and all beings everywhere, with no exceptions. May peace prevail on earth through the followers of all paths. And so it is. Now I invite you to turn within once again as I speak a word of blessing on the service today. Recognizing in this now moment the immense force of love that is spirit, the infinite ocean of peace that is our higher power. Whatever name that you feel comfortable calling it, it is the thing itself. Infinite wisdom, infinite intelligence, all good. I recognize that I am one with that source, that I am one with all of the qualities of spirit. Where God is, I am. And where I am, spirit always is. And from that place of unity, I recognize that as the truth of each of us that are here today, each of us listening, every sentient being on the planet and in the universe, that we are all one. The threads of truth, the threads of unity tie us all together, so there is never a separation between the one and each of us. I speak a word of blessing on today's service, knowing that it is whole, perfect, and complete in the mind of God before it even began. I bless Reverend Dusty as she comes forth with her message today, knowing that the wisdom that she will share with us will be heard with open ears and open mind, and we will hear the exact thing that we need to hear to walk a few more steps down our path of opening and growing. I speak a word of blessing on Cindy as she comes forth to share her gift of song that it will bless each of us and touch our hearts. I speak a word of blessing on Michelle for her gift of meditation this morning and for her presence in our community. She always comes with a smile and a beauty that shines from the inside. I'm so grateful for her. I'm also grateful for Ava in the AV booth, her support of this community to bring these services to all of those that are listening live online or that will listen in the future. So grateful for her presence in our community and for her willingness to share her talents. I'm grateful for Les and the other volunteers that have stepped up today to help make this a wonderful service. And I'm grateful for our community, for each of those within the sound of my voice, each of those that have ever taken part in our community and over all of the years, and here today, knowing that this community blesses each of us, that it has blessed so many and will continue to bless so many as a beacon of light, for fellowship, and for education, and for friendship. I'm so grateful for all of these truths, and I ask you to anchor this prayer with me and for each other with our words, and so it is. The reading for today is from Lessons in Truth by Emily Cady. She says, the only way God has of letting us know of His infinite supply and His desire is to make it ours for Him to push gently on the divine spark living within each one of us. He wants you to be a strong, self-sufficient man or woman, to have more power and dominion over all before you. So He quietly and silently pushes a little more of Himself, His desire, into the center of your being. He enlarges, so to speak, your real self. And at once you become conscious of new desire to be bigger, grander, and stronger. And now, help me welcome the beautiful and wonderful Cindy Johnson.
Thank you. I don't usually do this, but I'd like to apologize up front. You may hear a little something in my voice. I was stung by hornets early this week and went into a full-blown allergy attack and respiratory stuff. So if you hear me clearing my throat or whatever, you'll know why. There is more than enough in a universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all I will ever be is your infinite love. Let my soul know the truth, whatever I choose to do, your infinite love will prove. more than enough. There is more than enough in a universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all I will ever be is your infinite love. Let the world know the truth, whatever we choose to do. Your infinite love will prove more than enough, more than enough.
Absolutely beautiful, Cindy. As always, the right and perfect song for this morning. So thank you so very much for braving all of your issues today and being here with us. It's beautiful. So welcome to those of you who may have just arrived. As we begin our month-long contemplation about finance, we begin with 3 interconnecting truths. Now, the first is that the universe is infinite abundance, constantly being, constantly flowing, and constantly expressing. Now, we're not just talking about finances or about money or about the state of our bank accounts. We are talking about everything from the grains of sand on all of the beaches to the multitude of stars in the sky to all of the different shapes and sizes and colors and textures that exist on the land and in the sea and in the air. The universe is extravagant in expression. It is pure, abundant energy everywhere and always present. And in this infinite ocean, there is absolutely no lack or limitation. The second truth is that God is. In order to have this conversation, we have to begin with an awareness of the infinite source from which all things come. Everything is created by and out of this original and eternally creating and eternally giving divine mind. The word bounty literally means something that is given generously. So God's bounty then would be everything that is generously given to us by God. It is God's nature to give, and as Emerson said, we cannot outgive God. Emily Cady, who you heard from earlier, who was a New Thought pioneer and the author of the influential book called Lessons in Truth, said, God is not a being with qualities and attribute, but he is the good itself coming into expression as life, love, power, and wisdom. So what this means is that God is not loving, but that God is love itself. God is not wise, but God is wisdom itself. God is not the dispenser of divine substance, but the allness of the ever-present substance in which we live, move, and have our being. And the bottom line is that we are one with it, connected to it in ways that can never, ever be broken. And when we look out at the beauty and the abundance of nature, the orderly movement of the sun and the stars and the tides, the unfailing rotation of the seasons, and the infinite and unbelievable wisdom that is contained within our human bodies, how could there not be some kind of supreme intelligence back of it all? How could there not be? The third truth is that we create through contemplation. Our thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and feelings create the experiences of our lives. So in actuality, wealth isn't things. The first and foremost wealth of spirit is ideas. Ideas, an infinite supply of ideas, or potential energies that are available to everyone, everywhere, at all times. This is actually the true wealth and the true abundance of spirit. Now, the medium for the expression of those ideas is what has often been called substance. Substance, the invisible yet very real energy that is underneath everything else. Science tells us that space is not empty, rather it is filled with energy, both potential and particulate form, both in potential as waves of particles and as particles or objects in form. Whatever idea or image that we relate to, we know that we are immersed in an abundant, in an infinite abundance and an infinite wealth, and that we are within it, swimming within it, and it is within us. We can contemplate lack and limitation, or we can contemplate abundance and flow. It is always our choice. We have dominion over our thoughts, our ideas, our beliefs, and our feelings. So let's begin this month of living everyday wonder by contemplating universal wealth. If we are going to allow the infinite abundance and the wealth of the universe to freely flow to and through us, we must have a healthy understanding of this aspect of the nature of the divine. So wealth is the abundance of valuable resources or valuable material possessions. Now, while wealth can mean the state of being rich or having an abundance of money or material possessions, I find it very interesting that the word wealth itself comes from the Old English word wheel, W-E-A-L, which means an individual, community, religion, or country that possesses an abundance of resources or possessions to the benefit of the common good. This individual, community, religion, or country is known as wealthy. And I remind you that what came at the end of that sentence was the part about being for the benefit of the common good. Now, if wealth simply means abundant supply, can we ever really conceive of an infinite oneness that wants itself and its creation to be in poverty or restriction or lack? No. The infinite is unlimited, and it expresses freely, and it expresses constantly. And if this is true of spirit, which I believe that it is, then it must be universally true of all aspects of spirit. And that includes each and every single one of us. And yet, people have ideas. They have ideas about God. They have ideas about rules. And they have ideas about restricted love. And they have ideas about the desire for suffering or for earning that love or being worthy of that love. And they have ideas about being in lack and limitation, believing this to be more pleasing to the God of their creation. The God of their creation in which they are making in our image and likeness rather than the other way around. But none of these make sense about an infinite presence. None of these make sense about a oneness that is undivided against itself. Even science tells us that in a physical universe where nothing is ever lost, that the energy that makes up the universe is a constant. It never runs out. Cindy sang about it today. It's constant and it never runs out. Spiritually, we know that the energy of spirit cannot be exhausted. Spiritual energy is, like the presence of God itself, infinite, with no beginning and no end. An infinite nature, an infinite energy whose nature and whose tendency is to express, whose nature and tendency is to give and give and gives more. The truth is that abundance is our natural state. Since all is an expression of the divine, there is nothing lacking in God's world. There is always enough. The universe has enough resources right here and right now to really be able to supply everyone with all of their basic needs. So why then is our experience of life or the experience of other people's lives so often one of lack and limitation, so often one of hunger and poverty, of homelessness, and this very clear divide between the haves and the have-nots? Now, Ernest Holmes says that people must realize that no matter how infinite the infinite may be, it can only become to them what it can become through them. We must look at ourselves with our own eyes. If we could open up, clean house mentally, and get rid of everything that ails us, I don't care what the poverty is or the misery is, everything would be allowed because the infinite cannot refuse anything. So if the fundamental truth is that God's bounty is all around us, let's look at what gets in the way of us experiencing it. And I have 3 ideas to share with us today. The first is that there's not enough to go around. Probably heard that one a time or two. There's not enough to go around. Somebody's going to be left out. So if there's not enough room and not enough stuff for everyone, then everyone would be taking care of ourselves and our own, even at someone else's expense, right? And that seems unfortunate, but unavoidable and somewhat valid. With a mindset such as this, we live our lives from a consciousness of lack and limitation. And of course, then what do we invite into our lives but more lack and limitation? The second idea is that more is better. This drives a competitive culture of accumulation and acquisition and greed. This distracts us from living more mindfully and richly with the abundance that we already truly have. Our drive to enlarge our net worth turns us away from discovering and really expanding our inner worth. With a mindset such as this, we are always judging and comparing ourselves to others, and we miss out on all of the abundance that is already currently in our lives. The third is that's just the way it is, and there's no way out of it. There's not enough to go around. More is definitely better, and the people who have more are always people other than me. We might hear ourselves saying, I am not abundant. I am not prosperous, and nothing can ever change that. With a mindset such as this, we are constantly bringing our past into our present, constantly experiencing that lack and limitation. Now, with any of these ideas in our consciousness, knowing that we live from the inside out, is there any wonder why God's bounty is not the experience of our lives? We have to be willing to let go of there's not enough to go around. More is better, and that's just the way that it is, and there's no way out. Even if just for a moment. Even if for just a moment to consider the possibility that there isn't a way that it is, and there isn't a way that there isn't, there's only the way that we choose to think and to believe and to act, and what we choose to make of our circumstances, what we tell ourselves about what is going on in our lives. Many of our ideas and feelings about possibility and abundance were instilled in us when we were children. It's time that we clear our minds of these misconceptions. We either restrict our good, or we're open and receptive to the realization that God is the unlimited source of our supply, the substance of our abundance. In truth, there is no withholding on the part of the universe. It always says yes. Richard Rohr, in an article called Myths of Scarcity, asks us, can we recognize that better comes not from more, but deepening our experience of what's already there? Rather than growth being external in acquiring and accumulating money or things, can't we redefine growth to see it as a recognition of and appreciation for the things that we already have? We truly live our lives from the inside out. We have to remember that. Nothing happens except through consciousness. With a shift in our consciousness and an appreciation and gratitude for what we already have, we can and will experience prosperity and abundance and wealth in our lives. We can and we will. Possibility and abundance are states of mind, a deep sense of knowing that God is our eternal, opulent, and constant source and supply. Poverty and lack are also states of mind. But instead of faith in God, the person's misplaced faith is in their fears of lack and limitation. The outer world of effects, the people, the places, the things, and the conditions is a reflection of our inner state of consciousness, an inner reflection of our concepts and our desires and our imagination set into creative motion by our speech, by our thoughts, by our beliefs. It reflects the context and the paradigm from which we are creating our experiences, from which we are creating our lives. So we either have faith in God or we have faith in our fears. Whatever we choose governs what we will experience and what we will manifest. Whatever we choose. To feel prosperous is to be in tune with the universe and its unlimited resources and power. The substance of the universe is available to all of us alike, and in its availability, there is no discretion. Everyone treated the same. It is up to each of us to expand our consciousness to embrace more of this universal substance. In order to have a healthy relationship with wealth, we must have a healthy relationship with spirit. Seeking its kingdom first, and we find that kingdom within ourselves. So when we are aligned, we recognize that we are one with God, the creative energy back of everything that there is. We recognize that we are one with the intelligence of that universe, a universe that is always for us and never against us. A universe that is always working on our behalf, creating opportunities and resources beyond our imagination. Our job is to not figure everything out. Our job is to remember who we are, a spiritual being having a human incarnation. When we are aligned, we know beyond a shadow of a doubt who and whose we are. We have faith in the inner workings of our own consciousness and of our spiritual nature. We trust that the spiritual laws always work at the same time for everyone without exception. We know that we are more than our bodies, more than our circumstances, more than our bank accounts. We see beyond the world of form to the spiritual truth that is behind it. When we are aligned, we know that we have dominion over our thoughts, our ideas, our beliefs, and our feelings. We know that we do not have to buy into the race-conscious belief in lack and limitation. We do not have to continue to hold on to the ideas of there is not enough to go around, or that more is better, or that it's just the way that it is. We can know that we can create within ourselves a consciousness of prosperity. When we are aligned, we are firmly grounded in spiritual law, in the spiritual laws of cause and effect and the law of attraction. We know that we do not attract what we desire or even what we deserve. We attract what we expect. We attract what we expect. We know that when we focus on what is missing in our lives, we attract from a consciousness of lack and limitation, and what shows up is much different than if we were attracting from a consciousness of prosperity. The fundamental truth is that if we can conceive of an inexhaustible supply in consciousness, then there is a way that we can make that supply manifest. We demonstrate prosperity by understanding this fundamental truth and living our lives from a context of abundance. Supply may seem in the world of form to come from outer channels, but our ability to experience it in our lives is determined by our ability to stand powerfully in a consciousness of prosperity. No matter what's going on in the external world around us, stand firmly grounded in the truth. Our alignment and our expectation of good allows prosperity, abundance, and wealth to freely flow to and through us. The invitation is to stay in conscious alignment with God, to give up all sense of separation and instead choose a sense of belonging, a sense of oneness, a sense of unity. The invitation is to merge with that which is greater than ourselves and to trust that it is operating on our behalf in limitless and really amazing ways. We belong within the flow of life. It is our birthright. Charles Fillmore says in his book, Prosperity, claim your entitlement. You are a child of the universe, richly endowed with the fullness of all good. You are an expression of the infinite creative flow. There's a story called The Little Fish by Anthony DeMello that I believe really embodies all that we need to know in this moment as we begin this month on finance. And the story goes like this. "Excuse me," said the little ocean fish. "You are older than I, so can you tell me where to find this thing they call the ocean?" "The ocean," said the older fish. "Why, this is the thing that you're in right now." "Oh, this? But this is water. What I'm seeking is the ocean," said the disappointed fish as he swam away to search elsewhere. He came to the master in sannyasi robes and he spoke the sannyasi language. You know, things can happen in stories. "For years I've been seeking God. I've sought him everywhere that he is said to be, on the mountain peaks, the vastness of the desert, the silence of the cloister, and the dwellings of the poor." "Have you found him?" the master asked. "No, I have not. Have you?" What could the master say? The evening sun was sending shafts of golden light into the room. Hundreds of sparrows were twittering on a banyan tree. In the distance, one could hear the sound of highway traffic. A mosquito droned a warning that he was about to strike. And yet this man could sit there, this fish could sit there and say that he had not found God. After a while, he left, disappointed to search elsewhere. And the master thought, "Stop searching, little fish. There isn't anything to look for. All you have to do is look." As we clear our old ideas of the divine and recognize it as truly infinite, beyond our comprehension, just expressing as us, we naturally let go of the old ideas and beliefs which have kept us restricted in our ability to really express the abundance that is the truth of who we are. As we recognize the vastness of spirit and its extravagant expression of life, we are invited to recognize our oneness with its nature. As we stop seeing lack and limitation, we are invited to step into the awareness of an infinite presence of thriving extravagance and know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that we are that. And so it is. So it is. So I just invite everyone to turn within, to close our outer eyes as I speak a word of prayer for each of us this morning. With my eyes closed and my attention turned inward, I am filled with an awareness of that presence of the divinity that is within me. I feel its presence so strongly, so palpably. I feel that sense of belonging knowing that could be no other way. It is closer than my very breath. It is that breath that I breathe in that sustains me, that supports me, that voice that guides me, that wisdom that brings me clarity, that love that fills my heart and seeps out into the world, that peace that passes all understanding. I am one with it. I am that. And just as I know that this is true for me, I know that it's true for each and every person here today, each and every person within the sound of my voice, listening to us from the comfort of their own homes, every person that will listen to this later, all sentient beings on the planet. We are all deeply connected, one to the other, by this golden thread of God stuff that weaves itself throughout all of life. There can be no separation. And what I know about this presence is that it is infinite abundance. Everywhere we look, we see it. The colors, the shapes, the sizes, the textures, the stars in the sky, the grains of sand on the beach, the fish in the seas, the birds in the air, the trees, everything. Extravagant abundance. You're told by science that all of this energy cannot be lost. And so I know, because we were created in its image and likeness, that we too are abundant. That abundance is our birthright, and that as we align ourselves with the truth of who we are, turning away from ideas of more is better, or there's not enough to go around, or this is just the way it is, the fears of lack and limitation, and turning instead to the truth of our being, to the abundance that is everywhere we look. And the spiritual laws bring forward that abundance into our experience as we appreciate and are grateful for what we already have. That appreciation and that gratitude is generative in and of itself and brings more into our lives to be grateful for. We are truly abundant, and all we have to do is get out of our own way, to trust and believe and have faith in the universe and in the divine. And I claim ease and grace for each of us in doing so, for being open and available to all of the good that is flowing to and through us. And I'm so grateful to know this truth and to speak these words, so grateful for the power of prayer, knowing that these words are loosed into a law that only ever says yes. And so I speak them and release them with love and gratitude and expectation of their manifestation. Letting go and letting God be God, I invite each of us to anchor this prayer for ourselves, for each other, for our community, and for the world, simply by saying, and so it is, and so it is. Amen. Thank you all so very much. It is now time for our conscious giving. And I invite you to just turn within another moment as I speak a word of blessing on this offering, knowing that this process itself is an opportunity to stand in an expanded view of all of the ways that we are abundant, and to focus our attention on all of this abundance by practicing sharing and giving. That by recognizing our good and being willing to give some of it away, we enter into the law of circulation and participate in the powerful flow of the universe. I know that this gift, however big or small, supports this community as we continue to be a space of warmth and light, of wisdom, of transformation, and of love. I know that as each of us enters into this eternal flow of giving and receiving, that the gift we give comes back to us. The blessing and the blessed are one. Thank you all for your gift, and thank you, God, for the gift of each and every single one of you. And so it is. So there are a number of ways, if you are unfamiliar with our offering process, that you can give. You can visit our website at www.triangle.csl.org. You can text the word give using the following number, 919-230-8445, or you can mail your gift to our office at our address, P.O. Box 4062, Cary, North Carolina, 27519. So please take your gift or place your hand over your heart with an intention for yourselves or for this community, and repeat our offering affirmation in a call and response. I live in an abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life.
I live in an abundant universe, blesses and prospers my life.
I give with gratitude, knowing that God is my source. And so it is.
And so it is.
So it is. Thank you all so very, very much. And now, please welcome back to her piano the amazing Cindy Johnson.
Thank you. Sometimes it's hard to accept all the abundance coming to us because we may not feel that we deserve it. And I want you to just open your heart and hear the words of Spirit as they come through me. Child of mine, my beloved one, darling daughter, special son, you have never been alone. In my heart, you're always home. I'm not sure you understand. I am your greatest fan. Do you know how adored you are? How your precious heart is honored here. Do you know that you are loved and you're enough just the way you are? Do you know how adored you are? As a babe, you came to earth with secrets of the universe, but you forgot along the way that you are cherished, you are safe. I am right here in everything you do. Take a breath, I'm breathing you. Do you know how adored you are? How your precious heart is honored here. Do you know that you are loved and you're enough just the way you are? Do you know how adored you are? And oh, how you would love yourself, sweet child of mine, if only you could see yourself through my eyes. You would know how adored you are, how your precious heart is honored here. Do you know that you are love and you're enough just the way you are? It's yours to believe, yours to receive. Do you know how adored you are?
So beautiful, Cindy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Whew. Between Dusty's message and Cindy's song. I'm feeling it. We believe in the power of prayer. If you would like prayer, please go to our website at trianglecsl.org, and on the homepage, there's a button in the upper right-hand corner. Click on that button and fill in the request form. We'll get that prayer and send it out to the ministers and practitioners. If you would like to dedicate a flower dedication for anyone or for anything, please send an email to info@trianglecsl.org or to Reverend Dusty at dustyrippelmeyer@yahoo.com. October is turning out to be a wonderful, abundant month of extracurricular activities here at the center. We hope that you can join us for one or all. I'm so excited that Dusty will be offering our foundations class this month. It's a 10-week entry-level class for the study of science of mind. It is a personal exploration of the 10 core concepts of the science of mind philosophy, faith, and way of life, and their application in the process of daily living. You will complete this class with increased poise, confidence, and power in every area of your life. It is a game changer. The class will be held on Tuesday evenings from 6:30 to 9:30, beginning this Tuesday, October 4th, and will run through Tuesday, December 13th, with no class on November 8th. There is a one-day prayer workshop that will be held on Saturday, October 29th from 9 to 4. And as I said, the class will be facilitated by Reverend Dusty. The cost is $245, and there are payment plans available. There is still time to sign up, so we encourage you to please do that. The required books are The Science of Mind and the Living the Science of Mind, both by Ernest Holmes. And our monthly social event is a movie night this month. We'll be gathering Friday, October 7th at the Lodge at Crossroads. The movie will be the 2008 comedy drama starring Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson, The Bucket List. Corporate billionaire Edward Cole and working class mechanic Carter Chambers have nothing in common except for their terminal illnesses. While sharing a hospital room together, they decide to leave it and do all the things that they have ever wanted to do before they die, according to their bucket list. And in the process, both of them heal each other, become unlikely friends, and ultimately find joy in life. The movie starts at 7. We invite you to come at 6:30 to get settled in, and please bring your own beverages and snacks, enough to share if you'd like. And the address for the Lodge at Crossroads is 200 Brisbane Woods Way in Cary. We hope to see you there. I am super excited for the next offering. Please join psychic therapist Vincent Jenna on Sunday, October 16th here at 4 Points by Sheraton after service from 12:15 to 2 p.m. for a discussion of his first book, The Secret That's Holding You Back. In the book, he explains the mechanisms and processes at work. Your brain has unconsciously created that block and even sabotages your efforts to create a meaningful life. The bottom line is you don't believe what you think you believe. Join Vincent as he shares his insights following our service here. Please do not forget to bring your copy of the book for Vinny to sign, and there will also be copies for purchase. And then the week after that, join us and Reverend Andy Ross. That'll be October 23rd from 12:15 to 2 for a discussion of his new book called Creation. The second volume of his Theology for the Here and Now series is a meditation on God's creative process. Why does God create? How does God create? What's the purpose of God's creation? Come and explore these questions and more, and don't forget to bring your copy of the text for Andy to sign. There will also be copies available for purchase, and that will be held here in this room after our service on the 23rd. Both of these events are just the beginning of the events that we will be facilitating following our services on Sunday. There will be time following the service as we restore the room and pack away our equipment for lunch. The suggestion is that you bring a bagged lunch or run out to one of the restaurants in the area and get something to go. We will set up a few tables to accommodate everyone. Now, in the comfort of your own home, and here it's 4 points. Almost said Sophie. Please stand for our October affirmations. There are some sheets on your chairs as well as on the screen. This is a call and response, and please say it with meaning and repeat after me. The universe is infinite abundance, constantly flowing and expressing.
The universe is infinite abundance, constantly flowing and expressing.
In this infinite ocean, there is no lack or limitation.
In this infinite ocean, there is no lack or limitation.
Today, I vow to take my foot off the hose and let the natural abundance of the universe flow freely in my life.
Today, I vow to take my foot off the hose and let the natural abundance of the universe flow freely in my life.
Clearing my consciousness of congestion and restriction, I open my life to God's circulation as money.
Clearing my consciousness of congestion and restriction, I open my life to God's circulation as money.
Money is a form of divine energy, and it flows to and through me as I let loose old stories about it that no longer serve me.
Money is a form of divine energy, and it flows to and through me as I let loose old stories about it that no longer serve me.
Giving and receiving come naturally to me as I joyfully participate in the divine flow.
Giving and receiving come naturally to me as I joyfully participate in the divine flow.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Please take a seat and turn within once again with me as I speak a word of gratitude for today's service. Recognizing Spirit's presence, so palpable today in this gathering, knowing that it is always present in every moment of our lives, in every instance, in every thought, in every breath. Knowing that source as abundance in every conceivable form. I recognize my connection, my oneness with that abundance, with that source that is all. I know that is the truth of me, as I know that is the truth of each of us, that we are all swimming in that ocean of infinite abundance. How good that is. I speak a word of gratitude for today's service, for this gathering of like-minded individuals to come together with open hearts and open minds to receive this message today. And what a powerful message it is. that lack and limitation are but a state of mind, that we are able to step out of that way of being, to leave it in the past and to step into a new thought, a new belief, a new realization of the truth of each of us, that we are infinite abundance. I'm so grateful for this community, so grateful for Reverend Dusty, so grateful for each day that we receive as a gift. I speak these words into law. Grateful for this moment of prayer, grateful for the manifestation of each and every word. And I ask you to anchor this for ourselves with our words, and so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
Thank you all so very much. Please stand for our closing congregational song. We'll join along with Cindy.
Let's see if I can find words with the right key. Here we go. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Can we have some words? Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My beautiful, my wonderful, my wonderful friend. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friend. Back to the first verse. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day.
Thank you all so very much. Thank you for inviting us into your homes. We'll take a little moment to restore the room. So those of you that are at home, you could get on down to Neiman and join us for lunch if you wanted to. Otherwise, we'll see you all over at Neiman. Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful day. I love you all madly.